Hi there, my name is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty, and with me today on Northern Vibes, your all things Northern Denver, is my co-host.
Wilson Miller with the direct lending team powered by Citywide Home Mortgage.
And we are being graciously sitting down with Sam and Kiko. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourselves, guys, and the organization you're representing?
Sure, I can start us off. Thanks for having us. We really appreciate the opportunity to get to talk to you guys. And so my name's Kiko. I'm a science teacher at Vista Peak. And this is like my fifth year teaching at Vista. And it's my fourth year, or right, third year? Fourth year-ish doing our ski program with our students. So that's kind of what we're here to talk about, is talk about this fantastic program and get the word out about Bison Blizzard.
Yeah, my name's Sam Haven. I actually work with Kiko. We're both physics teachers at Vista Peak out in Aurora. Basically, 4 or 5 years ago, him and I sat together and are like, I like to snowboard and I like to use my time while skiing and snowboarding in the mountains. And Kiko said, I also like to spend my time snowing or snowboarding and skiing in the mountains. And hey, we should make a club. And we're like, that's a great idea. And here we are, 4 years later, 5 years later. So we run what we call the Bison Blizzard. The Bison is the Vista Peak mascot. So we are Vista Peak's ski club.
That's cool, guys. What ages are you guys teaching?
So we work with high school students. So for us, we largely deal with high school freshmen. But because of the way science works in Aurora, we might be working with students from all kinds of age groups. And that's reflected in our club as well. We have a solid group of seniors, a handful of juniors or 11th graders. And we've just recruited a whole lot of new students to the club, a lot of whom are freshmen and sophomores. So they're just starting their high school journey.
Yeah. One of the cool things about this year is in years past, we have actually been a fairly small club, 24 to 28 students. And this year, with how everything has been going, and the past year was a great success, we have expanded to 50 kids. So our wait line in years past has been significant. We've had anywhere between 80 to 150 kids sign up. Or at least apply. And this year, due to transportation support from a handful of donors, we are able to bring more kids. So more of that application line has been able to come with us this year.
So when you say application, what are we looking at? Qualifications or just the first so many to sign up due to limited resources? I was going to ask, like, how are you getting everybody up there? How are we getting ski passes? How are we getting all the gear? I mean, I get it's great for sense of community for a lot of these kids and probably you guys too, just to have things in common and share a common outdoor activity. But how do you all the logistics and the money going skiing nowadays?
Um,
Let's start with the application process. It's taken time to like set that up and figure out what it is that we want our club to look like and what students we want to include, because our mission with the club is to include as many kids from as many places and as many backgrounds as we can possibly fit on a bus. If I could take all 7,500 students in Aurora Public Schools and take them up on a bus to a mountain, I would. I 100% would. But unfortunately, due to logistics and all these other
Yeah.
issues, it makes it difficult to live out that pie in the sky dream. So we decided, like, hey, we have this club. We noticed there was a big swell of momentum of students who wanted to get in on the club, who were interested, who were like, oh my gosh, this sounds amazing. So we're like, how do we keep our students accountable? And how do we ensure that the students we are taking up there can live up to like the Bison standard, right? So initially, we set up a kind of an online application process. Students would sign in, give us a little bit of information, and then we would prioritize students through the selection process based on their experience and their enthusiasm for the sport. And it's funny how those two things shook out, because we really wanted to select for students who had very little or no experience, right? They've never had this opportunity before, but also had this like strong drive to get out there and try something new and meet new people and form this new community.
Well, I'm guessing we're weeding out the kids that just want to get out of school.
That is part of
that
it.
what we're
So
weeding out here?
that is definitely
Yes and
part of
no.
it.
Out of
We
150 of
definitely
you,
checked.
100 of you don't give a crap.
Right,
And
right.
we're weeding you out.
So that's part of it. We don't want academics to be the only thing we're looking at. And that's
right.
because there's a lot of students who struggle in school for a million different reasons, not only because they might lack in terms of desire to be in school, but there's students who come from all over the spectrum, and we really wanted to make that clear that this is for everyone. So we really were selecting for attendance. Hey, kids who are coming to school, you're here, right? That's really, really important. It's the most important factor for success. And then the second thing we were looking at is their score history, right? Are they passing their classes at least? We're not looking for our A+ students. We're not looking for our students who are only taking advanced or AP classes. We're looking at a much broader set of students. And we said to ourselves, all right, well, what does that look like? Well, are they passing their classes? Are they being consistent? Do they have any behavior issues that we need to know about before we put them on a bus and stick them on a mountain? Those are all things that we want to know before we move through moving that student through to the club itself. So like I said, we looked at their grades, we looked at their attendance, we looked at their behavior. We had some building partners come in and help us out with that, which was fantastic because we're classroom teachers. We spend about 8 hours a day in front of kids trying to get them to learn some science, and having that support to allow us to carefully select our students was really, really helpful.
Yeah, I can assume that'd be pretty tough too, you know, with the delicacy of it.
Oh yeah.
In our world, to be HR. I mean, I don't know the public school world, but you know, like not discriminating, not doing this, not doing that. So mapping all that out is just fascinating to me. Like just the idea is fantastic, but then you have to get to the logistics around the business. And
Right.
you're like, wow, now we're getting into the micros. And that's what always interests me. So thank you.
Right. So to kind of build off of that, like we had a pool, we put signs up around the school, and the hallways were a buzz of just like, hey, did you see that? Like I had one right outside my office right here, and how many kids would walk by and kind of do one of these? Like, wait a second. And so we had basically an application phase. And then it kind of got to the point where we took a look at our body of students. And like we said, we really want to give the opportunity to kids that might not have the opportunity otherwise. Like kids that are like, when they ask Mr. Haven, what'd you do this week? And I'm like, oh, I went snowboarding. It was like a 3D powder or 3-foot deep powder day at Vail. And like, I kind of go on this, and they're like, that sounds great, but I have no context for that. What does that look like? So we took all those kids that we want to make sure we can give this opportunity to, because they wouldn't have one way or another. And we did a lottery, and quite literally big hat, names and things, and we just pulled them out. And that is the easiest way to keep it fair and equitable as far as those kids are here. Now, moving forward, we had, because the kids just like, hey, ski club, I want to be a part of it. That was pretty much their full understanding of it. And then we kind of moved on through the course of the year, and we had a parent meeting. And we sat down and said, hey, this is the ski club. This is what it looks like. This is the expectations around when we do meetings. You need to be here on these days, the financial piece of it. So we're going to be doing fundraising, and our fundraising goal for each student is about $450. We have a menu of options of things to do, but we need to be making that $450. And I was going to be honest with you, I stood in front of 100 people, 50 kids and their parents, and going, I bet looking through at these expectations, that's going to be a lot for some of these parents, especially the financial piece, right? Every single one of those parents right there signed on the dotted line right there and said, hey, I'm in. And it was fantastic. And so we have been obviously supporting with our kids since that meeting. Was that 2 months ago now, Kiko?
Yep.
But you want to see how excited kids are. Put them in a room in September. Snow hasn't even come close to falling yet.
It's
And
a
they're
90-degree
like,
day. And
yeah, they're like, sign me up right now. I'm all in. Like, great. What do I need? Snow pants? Let's do this. Like,
It just shows you how much this stuff is needed in our isolated society. For those
right.
parents to sign right then and there. We need to get
And
these guys in some sense of community and get them out of this room or get them off this phone.
well, when we expanded, that was a fear that I had, right? An apprehension that I had was, oh my gosh, what are we going to do now? Because we have double the kids. That means more than double the money. You would think it's like a 1-to-1 ratio, but it actually increases at a different rate. And so we're going to need more money. We're going to need more chaperones. We're going to need more instructors, more time, all these things. And it's been absolutely incredible how quickly, immediately, we talk to parents, and parents are like, oh my gosh, well, I have this friend who might be able to help out. I run a food truck. I'd be happy to help serve at one of your events and, give you folks a portion of the sales. So when you say this is really like a community event, it really resounds with me because it really became this huge community upswelling to do something that I was like, what a niche, weird thing to try to get a bunch of people to care about. And these are people who don't ski. They don't ski at all. They don't ski. They don't snowboard. At best, many of their parents have maybe tried once or twice in their lifetime, maybe never picked it up as a regular hobby. So these are people who are looking at a sport sight unseen and going, oh my gosh, yes, this sounds amazing. And I think that speaks a lot to what Sam has built over the last many years and what I have helped build over the last many years of building that excitement, building that community around the ski club, building that buzz of when we only had 8 kids, 12 kids, 14 kids in a school of over almost 2,000 students. And we're looking at them and we go like, such a small club, such a small thing. And we're seeing what a huge impact we can have. And that really speaks to how big Coloradans are into our favorite thing to do, right? Is go to the mountains and go do something fun. And if it's wintertime, we're skiing and snowboarding.
No doubt.
Amazing. So as you were saying kind of about the financial part and that sort of thing, by when do the kids need to have so much earned? And like, what are some of the other fundraisers? What are some of the fundraisers that you do?
basically the deadline for their money is the first week in January. We don't start skiing until end of January, partially because we want to make sure we give them as much time as possible because $450 is a lot to ask for. And on top of it too, we try to start skiing earlier in January in years past, and it's usually like -10 and then it doesn't
Yeah, it's the
become
worst.
enjoyable. So we're like,
It's the worst.
we're not gonna die on that hill. We're going to
Yeah.
be looking forward to it like February when it's 35, it's sunny. Like we said, these kids, this is their first experience on a ski hill. It's usually their first experience in the mountains to general. So we want to make sure this is as comfortable as an experience as possible. But in terms of fundraisers, we kind of have a little bit of everything. We have a diverse portfolio. So we do chocolates, which, as funny as it sounds, my camera is sitting on about 4 chocolate boxes right now.
Boxes of chocolates. Yes, I'm a sport parent completely.
And
Yeah.
then,
Oh, yeah.
and then.
I used to be like, because I had multiple children in sports, I was just like, how much is a box? Can
Yeah.
I just
I'll just do it myself.
well, or how much are you making from this box? Because we know 100% of it is not going to you. So can I just pay? Or I would
Yeah.
drop it off at some local businesses and be like, can I just leave this box here? And then that way, if I made any money, it was great. That was that much less that I had to contribute. So I got the box of candy. So what else do you got?
We do what we call SnapRaise, which is basically an email chain with just direct depositing. And in the day and age of social media, this is probably the easiest way to take their social media skills and use it for productive means.
Yeah.
Yeah, no
So
doubt, right?
we do SnapRaise. Other things like we are going to do, because the Olympics are this winter, we're going to do a watch night. So we're going to sell like $3 tickets, and we're going to have food trucks come up. Like Kiko alluded to before, one of our students, his dad owns a food truck and has already committed to like, let me know how I can help. I'll call my friends up. We'll bring everybody out. And so are committed to doing just a percentage of their proceeds to our club. So a couple of things with that, and really, as funny as it sounds, leaning into the community piece, kids don't think that they know enough people to raise money, which is fascinating, because your grandmas and grandpas, your aunties and uncles, your dad's coworker who hears about you all the time on Monday mornings after your flag football games, they come out of the woodwork. And I have seen probably 5 to 10 students already fill their fundraising goal just through that little community here and there, which is so powerful to see.
That is funny. They have bigger spheres than we do when we get older.
Right.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
You know, I never really thought about that. I mean, they're hanging with a whole kit and caboodle of family still, and there's
Right.
friends everywhere. No
Well,
doubt.
and we tell them, hey, like Thanksgiving's coming up. You've got church on Sundays. You've got your community event on Wednesday. You've got your mother's bridge game on Thursdays, right? Like these are all people you know. And so you mentioned earlier, Ann, that you were thinking like, well, how much money is this really making for my club? Can I just pay for it, right? So I don't have to deal with it. And we appreciate that parents really do want to do that, but we want to support the whole student. And so while we respect parents wanting to open their wallets, those that can, and want to pay up front, like that's really cool. But the fundraising is part of it. We want our kids to go out and earn it, to really feel when they step on that snow, to get on that first time on their board, first time on their skis, they go, oh my gosh, it was all worth it. I really did all this work. I sold the chocolates, I sold the popcorn. We've got our popcorn sale coming up in a couple more days. I talked to every person I've ever met and got them to donate just a little bit of money. I went to all of the events. I did all these things, and wow, look at this reward, right? It is part of it, and that's honestly one of the harder parts is talking to parents and saying, they're like, oh, well, can I just like cut a check? And we're like, you could. But really, we want the kids to go out there and fundraise and earn it for themselves so that nobody can say they gave it to them. Or they can say for themselves, I did this for me.
Yeah, I'm more thinking because my kids were younger. So
Yeah,
I'm
right.
talking more about like, when your kids are doing like elementary and middle school for flag football and
For
stuff like
sure.
that,
Oh, yeah.
where you're like, but
Where you don't trust them to not leave that box of chocolates out in the sun. Yeah.
or you're like, yeah, I don't really think this is the time that you like would go door knock. Like, because when I was little,
Yeah.
younger, we could go to the neighbor's house and knock on the door and everything. And it was a little bit of a different atmosphere. But
Mhm.
with social media and all those different things, I'm sure that the kids can get pretty darn creative on finding things and really like going, it takes them, we're talking about snowboarding, we're talking about skiing, we're talking about like that sort of things. But what I'm hearing you say is that this is leading to more of a well-rounded or a whole individual. Like, we don't want you just to give the money. We want this to be an educational experience. Like, yeah, we're going up, but you're also bringing together, like, you're not focusing just on the kids who, number one, can afford it. You're also not focusing on, like, you're bringing together probably, I guess I'm just assuming, a group of kids that might not have said hello to each other in the hall, or like from all different groups. You're talking the athletes who play like, the organized sports, or skaters, or of course, I just aged myself by calling them skaters, but
Still works, bro.
but you're bringing together like a whole group of kids randomly that may not have had time for each other in a hall, but are all together in like getting together and going up and being collaborative, like probably having friendships that might not have occurred if it weren't for your club. And that's, to
100%.
me, a little bit more important than teaching someone how to ski and snowboard. That's just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as fun as skiing and snowboarding is, and as important as it is to me and Sam, we really are committed to supporting the whole student, right? We have lessons for them on the way up, right? It's not just, hey, we go to the mountain and ski. We like on the way up, hey, we're doing a little bit of social emotional learning, right? How to like manage your emotions, how to manage your anxiety, how to conquer your fears, right? How to, be a little more grown up, how to be
That's
more
pretty cool.
confident.
Yeah.
Teach them work ethic. I mean,
Yeah.
reward is not instant gratification anymore nowadays, and everyone's instant gratification. And that's pretty fascinating, really.
Well,
Oh, go
and
ahead,
we
Sam.
have we have such a captive audience too. They want to be here. They want to do this. They want to engage in it. And at some point in time, we say, okay, you guys are persevering, right? Like you're going to fall, you're going to get back up. You're going to fall, you're going to get back up. And yeah, you're doing this on the bunny hill. How is that any different than math class? How is that any different than your social studies class? Like, yeah, it might look a little bit different, but your mindset that you guys are working on here and structuring and strengthening, that's something you guys can go anywhere else with. And going back to the piece about the friends, right? You have groups of kids from all walks of life that might not have any, like we have 2,000 students in our school. They might not even see each other in the hallway. When we started this club, the chaperones, Kiko, myself, and we have about a dozen other teachers that support with this. We sat down, and the question I asked them was, what do you remember about your first time or times snowboarding? So, Wilson and Ann, do you ski or snowboard?
I'm from
Yeah.
Nebraska, so I never ever learned. So I'm like super jealous of all those kids that can go up and do and then I think what you guys are doing is amazing because I had 4 children, so I couldn't afford to like take everyone up. So not only do I not do it, but neither do my kids because it was cost prohibitive. So if
Mhm.
they would have been able to do something like this at a school, I know they 100% would jump at it. So like I said, I'm kind of like, oh, this is so cool. I'm so glad that you guys are being able to bring that to people who, in all honesty, never would have had the opportunity.
And we have kids where financially, like you're alluding to, is the primary kind of barrier. But it's very much a familial thing where if the parents do it, the kids are going to do it. And that kind of goes down the generation. That's how I learned how to ski, was because my parents did it. And so, but we have parents that don't have a connection to it. Like we have a student that's like, my parents have the financial means to, but they're Nigerian. Like they don't have any connection to
Teach
this.
you.
Yeah.
And so they they want to, they're curious about it, but there's like, where do I even start? Like we
Yeah.
have parents that are excited about it, but means of transportation to the mountains, we all know 70 is an absolute like chaotic cluster. Like that is a turnoff for so many people, but also like, do I have a reliable vehicle to even get me to the mountains? But going back to the whole question is like, Wilson, what do you remember from the first time you were learning how to ski?
I don't remember. I lived in Breck for 5 years, so I got kind of thrown into the 100 days a year thing. The first day, well, your first day looking down a real mountain, you're definitely intimidated and you're exhausted because you've scorpioned 3 times.
Yep.
Your shoulder hurts. You can't even get up from a seated position. When I just teach them to get on their knees, it's easier to get up. It takes you a long time just to learn even how to get up without wearing yourself out and cussing yourself out. Like, oh my God, it's a nightmare. It's so hard. And then once you start connecting turns, it's just heavenly.
Right,
That reward you get from busting your ass so much was heavenly,
right,
but I just remember being highly frustrating.
Yeah,
right.
well, and some of our kids, right? Some of them are gonna go on and become like snowboard addicts, right? They're gonna go to the mountain, immediately be addicted and be like, this is my lifestyle from now on. And some of our kids are gonna enjoy it for however long they like it, right? They might have other responsibilities come up, they graduate, they move on, right? But that feeling of being tired and beat up and
Defeated.
frustrated and
Yeah,
defeated,
Yeah.
and then like conquering that, right? And you get to
Yeah.
do that with new friends, maybe some old friends, but like with your new friends,
hmm
right? That's a feeling that's going to follow them for the rest of their lives. They'll be
Amen.
talking
right,
about it forever. Just like I talk about my baseball days, like man, those are good times on the team.
Yeah.
Just like Sam talks about his racing days, like those were awesome times on the track. That's really what we're trying to do and provide for these guys. and gals,
And-
for these students, right, is that we really want them to have that experience, to have that feeling of overcoming a challenge and doing it together, doing it as a community, doing it for themselves and growing in that way, right? Not because someone told them, not because their teacher pushed them or their parents were on top of them, right? But because they wanted to, they faced the mountain and they conquered the mountain, they came all the way back down.
Well,
Well,
and I think I'm a big advocate of like team sports. I was an athlete, I get it. But whether you play or not, trying out, let's talk about society and this instant gratification. Just trying out, you know what you do and don't like in life. You're figuring out who you are. You're figuring out, you're figuring out your circles or your strengths, and it doesn't mean you have to be the starting athlete, but then I think everybody should try out these things. I think it's just a good character builder for these kids. Like my niece and nephew are 7 and 9. I'm gonna be like, because he lives in Crested Butte, right? So he's on the
oh,
ski team.
nice.
It's all dad does. So it's all they're gonna do. But I'm like, yo, you gotta play some baseball. You gotta play some basketball. You gotta play some soccer. You have to play, at least, or in your organization, it's with another group of kids. You kind of need to see where you stand in life a little bit.
Right.
What you can and can't tolerate. You either hate it, fine, at least you discovered that about yourself. At least you tried it. And if you like it, wow, right? I mean, such a big thing for just trying out for that stuff, just trying it.
And with that too is you're trying it and it's going to be tough. Like
Hmm.
this is one of my favorite stories to tell. We have he's a junior now. His name is Mauricio. And like the day before his first time out, he's just peppering me with questions. Like, okay, so how far is the drive? What kind of food do they have at the restaurant? Can I get chicken tendies? Yes, you can get chicken tendies. That is a staple at every single ski resort, no matter what. And he finally gets to the point where he's like, Mister, what if I'm like really good right away? And I lead into
What
him. I'm
if?
like, I hope you are, because it's going to hurt if you're not. And so, but like getting out there, trying it, seeing what you like and you don't like, I totally agree with that. And I think the hard part with a lot of kids is that they struggle with struggling and
Yes.
other
Yeah.
people seeing it. And
Hmm.
they want to be instantly great on everything because they don't want to be seen as struggling. And
Hmm.
with this club, we have 50 kids that are all going to be on the bunny hill at the same time, and they're all going to make a scene. And the best part is somebody 3 feet right there is going to be doing the exact same thing. And so it's this kind of cohesive bonding of I'm going through a tough experience. But at the same time, I have a network of people, not only are my friends, but the teachers here that are willing to help me and help see this through.
Yeah, you can be less self-conscious about it. You learn to say, screw it. No one cares, and let's try this out without being self-conscious and defensive with it.
So what can
And
we do to help get the word out? What can we do for you guys? What can the public do?
the public, oh my gosh, so much. Please just write us a blank check.
Well, I just thought we were
And
supposed to do that.
and we
Well,
will
they're gonna
happily
need
receive
reserves.
it. But
You're gonna need
actually,
reserves at some point.
Ann and Wilson, we've already set up a few fundraisers throughout. We've talked about already. We also have the Wax and Whiskey event coming up in January, hosted by you lovely folks.
So excited
Thank you
for
so
that.
much for that. So if your listeners are out there, please come wax your board, come drink some whiskey, come do one or the other or both at the same time. Show your support. We're going to have some auction items available for you folks, including this wonderful snowboarding throne.
It's not a chair. It is literally a throne. It is huge.
We also have
Coming
like a
later.
picnic table. We have one of our jerseys. We actually have jerseys this year, and so we'll be auctioning off some of our jerseys. So it'd be really fantastic. And all the furniture, all the stuff has been designed or made by students. So that's really, really fantastic as well. Way to show your support, not just for the club, but also, hey, like youth are doing cool things. Go show your love for them. And then we also have our SnapRaise links, which anyone can donate to. Those are fantastic. And we've got a few other events that we're looking forward to. Sam mentioned earlier our Olympic Winter Olympics watch party. So that'll be fun as well. We'll have food for sale and we'll see what else comes up. We are not saying no to any opportunities to generate more revenue.
You want to go ahead and recite Facebook pages, websites, and Instagrams and all that as well? And if there's, can you
Please.
find links through those?
Yeah, so we try to keep everything concentrated in one location for our convenience and also for the convenience of our students, right? They already have 8 classes and a million other things to worry about, and their parents have also their children in 8 classes and a million other things on that to worry about. So we try to keep things as simple as we can. If you want to check out our links, please check us out on Instagram at Bison Blizzard VPP. So at Bison Blizzard BPP. Really, really great. If nothing else, give us a like. Please follow us. The bigger we get on socials, right, the more visible we are, the easier it is to contact some of our vendors and some of our donors and be like, hey, we're cool and big and awesome. Please help us, be a part of us, right? And so that's really helpful. And in that Instagram page, they can check out our link tree. And that'll take them to our donation pages, our SnapRaises, our merch store. We have a merch store. Yeah, so you can get our cool Bison Blizzard logo on a polo or a tee or what have you. And then, of course, there's if there's anyone who wants to reach out and be a community partner, there is also a link in there as well in the link tree in Instagram that allows you to contact us directly and say, hey, this sounds really great and amazing. I run a local shop. I run a local restaurant. I run a local whatever business of whatever you might have. And we're really interested in getting more kids to go skiing.
That's
I love
amazing.
it. I love it. Instagram, folks, and I'm already following. So
yes,
Saw that. Yes.
did
We
you?
appreciate the follow-up.
Okay. Now,
Yes,
when
I
this
did.
thing gets chopped up into little pieces, Ann and I will share on our socials, so that'll help with some
Absolutely.
exposure.
That's awesome. Thank you
1000%.
so much.
And I'm so excited to meet you guys in person. And the only way I could chaperone is if I came up and just stood around. But I'm sure you need people like that too.
Indeed, we
We
do.
won't say no. We will not say
Hey,
no.
it's time to drink when the sky is pink, Ann. You can just be an
Well,
opera.
not with
You can be
kids,
an
Wilson, but I
opera
can do
trophy
hot
wife at
cocoa
the
at the
bottom
bottom of a hill. You can't be doing that with the kiddos around. But if you
Hey,
guys need someone to
in
be
the
like,
thermos.
hey, Miss Ann is in there. Go sit with her, get warm. You're not alone.
She's inside
So,
of the
I mean, at this
snacks.
point, I feel like we've taught plenty of adults how to snowboard as well, because a lot of our chaperones didn't start off as master skiers or master snowboarders, and they learned right alongside the kids. So
you know
you're
I'm a
welcome to join
master of
us.
nothing when
Wilson,
it
you're
comes
welcome
to
to show us
snow.
what you know. I'm sure they would love to have more enthusiastic adults cheering them on.
Man, I knew we were wrapping this up, but where are we going? Are you mixing up the hills?
So this year we are taking one trip to Snowboard right here in Denver. That's our indoor location. We're doing that in January, the beginning of January when it's the coldest. So while other people's kids might be
Yes.
out on the hill when it's freezing, guess what? We get to be inside checking that out. So that'll be cool and very safe. And then we'll be out of Echo Mountain for the rest of the season. So the Echo Mountain ski area right outside of Idaho Springs. They've been absolutely fantastic to work with. Our contact there,
Really?
Cindy, has been amazingly accommodating. She's done basically everything we would ever need at Echo Mountain, including like setting up meals for us and doing setting up the passes and like all these great things that they've been doing for us. So check out Echo Mountain. They're a great beginner hill.
Yeah, I've never been.
It's right
Fun
close
is
to
super
Idaho
cool.
Springs.
Yeah, never.
So that's what we'll be. And then we're looking at some options for like a big blowout end of the season ski fest, right? We might be looking at Loveland ski area. We might be looking at Ski Cooper. We might be looking at a couple other locations as well. We're just trying to see which areas will work best for our needs and which folks can work with us to get our kids up there.
We used to rent out the cabin at the top of the hill in Loveland for our company parties when I was
nice.
bartending in Summit County for years. So
Man,
we used to
that's
go up
awesome.
there. Yeah, it
Gotta
was
convince
awesome.
my
And
boss
he
to
brought
do
all the food from the restaurant and just cooked on top of the mountain. So we're all eating and snacking up there in the spring, jackets off, and then you take some runs. It was really cool.
Is that the one at top of Chet's or is that up by Fireball?
In the bowl.
Okay, okay, I was gonna say it because I know there's 2 now.
Okay. Then this has been 2006, 7. I mean, a long
Okay,
time ago.
gotcha. But yeah, we are super excited to have the kids up there. The kids are already excited. We're doing a lot of things, not just skiing like we've talked about before. We are going to be going and touring Donic's Snowboard Factory, which is a kind of smaller outfit just right out here by our school in Denver International Airport. They're going to see how snowboards are made, and sizing, shaping, what all the technology that goes into that as well. So we're getting a full experience, not just going out to the hill for a couple hours a day.
Pretty cool, guys.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much. I know that while it's something that you are passionate about and that you love, I do know like this is another reason why if you haven't thanked a teacher lately or thanked someone who's been involved in your kids' lives, you should, because this is extra. And from a parent standpoint, I just wanted to say thank you, because without, it's just a really hollow experience and you guys don't have to do that. And so I just wanted to say thank you from the community that you're willing to take it on. I know you're getting something out of it, but thank you again. Like you didn't have to.
I will tell you, thank you so much, and we appreciate that. And I can only speak for myself on this, but I'm a fourth generation teacher. Like everybody on my mom's side of the family, I like could not escape education if I tried. And being a teacher is an incredibly rewarding experience. But being able to go up with the kids and spend time with them and see them grow not only in their skill set as a skier or a snowboarder, but grow as a person. I go home every night. My poor wife, like I'm just like, hey, all this stuff happened and it was great and all that kind of, and so it fills my cup. It is something that pays dividends on the experience every single day that we're up there.
Nice.
I
Again,
would tend
thank
to
you guys so
agree.
much. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
And
when we're sitting there at 5 a.m. and we're setting up buses and we're wondering why are we doing this, we think to ourselves like, we're doing it for those kids, right? We care about these kids and we really want them to have the best experience that they can. And we really want our parents to so thank you for thanking us, but thank you
Yeah.
for raising wonderful kids and
Yeah.
having this shared opportunity with us. So we really do thank our parents, and our hearts go out to our communities.
Nice.
again, thank you guys so much. This is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty
And Wilson Miller with the direct lending team.
and we want to just say thank you again, Sam and Kiko. You guys are amazing. And if you guys can support the Bison Blizzard Snow Boarding Club, and let's do it. And we're going to put everything out on our socials. Come by Whiskey and Wax. We'll just make sure that everyone has access to see how they can help and just get to know you guys maybe in person.
Great.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Thanks, guys. Peace.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening. This is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty. And if you missed important information from this episode, check us out on Facebook at Northern Vibes, Colorado.
And this is Wilson Miller with Source Mortgage Group. Also follow us on YouTube at Northern Vibes CO.